this one. It's like a little, it kind of like burns the nose hairs, but it also kind of like, I want to taste it a little bit at the same time. The Rotaluber. Is this possibly the coolest must-have chain lubing accessory out on the market? I don't know, but today we're gonna talk about it. We got a guest tester in. Let's see what the Rotaluber is all about.
When you gave it to me, I was like, could be a gimmick, could be something that's just, you know, another one of these things. Easy to get on, easy to use, and gets the lube exactly where you need it. So I do think it's got a purpose, and I do think it's got a good function.
So if you could have guessed by my hand, I'm not really riding a lot of bikes. I have been lubing a lot of chains and doing other maintenance, but Kevin here, he has a real job. And that means he gets to ride bikes a lot more than we do. So we thought we would bring Kevin in as our guest tester. What would you say? You're like, you used a word. You're very particular about lubrication and chain maintenance, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what that word was, but maybe it'll come to us later.
All right, so Rotaluber. This thing is a 3D printed chain lube applicator, I guess we could call it. It has a little knob here that does flow control, and there's essentially this little, I guess we'll call it a jockey or pulley wheel, and there are two little holes in between each set of teeth, and that flow control knob will allow more or less chain lubricant to come through each of those holes, which are spaced pretty much exactly at the end of the rollers, right?
Yep.
Then you've got this follower guide that has a little kind of rubberized strip in it. So as the chain gets lubricated and moves down that follower pin, it's actually designed to spin and roll that pin, which takes the freshly applied lube and kind of spins it around. Really simple, but kind of complex and really neat at the same time. $39.95 for the piece. You can buy extra bottles depending on how many different types of lubes you have. It comes with this little bottle stand, which is nice because this thing will leak if you leave it attached. So we recommend pulling that off and putting the cap back on. There is also an additional e-bike backspin tool. They've got an Allen attachment or a Torx attachment, and you can put that into the chain ring, so that way you can backpedal and apply the chain lube. So Kevin, you said, how often were you going through chains? I can't remember.
So I had like a phase where we have 4 bikes we ride regularly, 2 e-bikes, 2 meat-powered bikes, and in the space of a few months, new chains were breaking regularly. And I thought something was up here, right? And I didn't know what or why, so started cleaning the chain, paying more attention to the chains. And the last ride I went on about 6 weeks ago with my girlfriend, partner, we were out riding and her chain broke.
Okay.
Put a magic link on the chain and we got her going again, and 500 foot up the trail, another link broke. And she's only putting out 100, 140 watts or something. So I knew something was kind of off there. And so I started looking at, well, what's breaking these chains? And it was not just one manufacturer's chain. It was, you know, if you wanted me to name names, SRAM and Shimano chains were breaking at equal durations. And it wasn't because we weren't cleaning the chains. And so we started looking at other lubes, and that's when I talked to you about it, sent you pictures and asked you if you knew if any of the lubes were corrosive.
Yeah, because you had been using muck-off lube at that point exclusively.
Yes, and particularly the dry.
Okay, muck-off dry lube.
Yep.
Here in Bend, high desert, very dry, dusty, bit of volcanic you know, element to it, so potentially a bit more corrosive. But yeah, it'd be curious to know if anyone else who's using that muck-off dry lube has had similar issues, right? Yeah,
we did not have it in other environments. You know, I've lived elsewhere and used it there, and that doesn't seem to be a problem. So I don't know if there's a chemical reaction going on, or it was just a bad run of chains, or what's going on. But it's interesting all the same.
Okay, so I have given you, I think, three or four different lubes, as well as the Rotaluber. So walk us through, when I put this thing in your hand and explain it to you, what were your initial thoughts? And then when you went to go use it for the first time, what did you think? Yeah, so when you initially showed me this, I thought it looked like something I might not need. That was my initial impression. You know, why have something else when you can use the nozzle of any kind of lube just to oil chain traditionally? And then I put it on. It was not hard to fix on. It was very simple to use. And then I ran my chain through it and put the banana flavored lube on there. And sure enough, it oiled the pins really well and rollers without getting it anywhere else. So that was kind of
I know it's what it's supposed to do, but it's the first device I've ever used that actually does that. You know, there was no residue falling on the floor, there was none on the outside of the chain, it was all where it was supposed to be. So, you know, you kind of save on lube and you save on mess. So it works really well.
So you would say you went from being kind of skeptical to being a believer of the product?
Yeah, absolutely. I would consider buying one of these actually to use.
Okay.
Even though previously I didn't think I needed one or would want one, I would probably buy one and use one, yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Now, obviously, you know, we've primarily used the Rotaluber with more of a viscous lubricant like this.
Yeah.
Being that we are here in a very dry, deserty environment, you know, one of the other lubes we gave you is a very wax-based lube. Would you think that maybe this would be kind of more like a wintertime use in our current, I guess, scenario and terrain type? Or would you... I don't think the wax is going to flow through there, to be honest.
Right, I think there's a lot of variables to consider here, because if you're the kind of person that wants to oil their chain every ride or every 2 rides or every 3 rides with a more of a viscous, not so long lasting product, then I think this is the way to go. But as we've talked about, if you want to put something that's thicker, waxier, heavier, I don't know how that will apply through here because I didn't try it.
Maybe we'll do a quick little demonstration, show how this thing works. You do that.
Absolutely.
And obviously, if you're an e-biker, you can't be bothered to climb yourself up at your own hill. So why would you lift up an e-bike onto a work stand, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. I've never seen one of those before.
Yeah, there you go. It's the new feedback stand.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you just kind of do this with it, and then you're done. That's it. There you go. That's a bit better. It's stiffer than it was, but it's still...
Could be my chain.
The banana flavour. Hang on a second.
This chain's neglected.
You know what?
As are most things I ride.
I don't think it was on properly.
Okay.
Now it is.
There we go.
See, that's right, there you go. And now it's a piece of cake, right? As you can see, the lube is only on the roller here, and it's only getting the pins. And there's no resistance now. But it took, what, 1 or 2 goes to get it in the right place. And then again, like you said, Drew, if you want to put in an Allen wrench or something into your crank, if you can't turn it, depending on what motor you've got, because some have more resistance than others, don't they? So that's about it.
There you go.
And then you're done. And as you can see, there was no drips, no waste. I mean, I personally would still give that, you know, a good 10 to 20 cranks and
let's just see,
probably wipe it off.
I mean, that's mostly just dirt. I don't see very much banana lube on there. So, yeah, I think we're getting stuff right into where it needs to be without creating a lot of wasted product, which means less lube and a more efficient application of lube. So,
yeah.
All right. So, Rotaluber, 2 thumbs up?
2 thumbs up. Okay. I think, but as you saw,
it can take a couple times to get it lined up, for sure.
Make sure that little wheel is right where you want it to be. That's important. Otherwise, you have happened what we just did.
Okay. All right. Well, there it is. Rotaluber. Go check them out. We'll put a link down below. You guys can check it out. Thanks for watching. Kevin, thanks for coming in and trying this thing out for us.
No worries. Thank you.